I'm Nathan Skipper with Montgomery Technology Incorporated, and in this video I'd like to describe the user interface options that are available to our customers who use our MTI control systems. And we're going to give an overview of the advantages and disadvantages of each type of user interface that are available to you, and also some design and installation considerations to be given to each of these components. The first option for the user interface on an MTI control system, and the one that's existed for the longest, is the hard graphics panel. These devices are highly manufactured, highly customized graphics panels, which are literally hardwired to the control devices or to the logic devices that provide the functionality for them. They can use a number of different switch types, such as membrane switches, telemechanique, AML, a number of different types of that. They have some advantages, one being that there's no operating system or additional software related to these devices, so there's no concern for an operator plugging up his iPad or iPod and playing music or playing games. And there's no boot time related to the startup of this device. No additional information that you have to know, like usernames and passwords and things like that. And there's potentially less of a learning curve because it's a direct functionality, obvious use for the switches and that sort of thing. The disadvantage is there's absolutely no flexibility for change. You get what you design in this case, and so when you put a button on the screen or on the panel, it's there till kingdom come. It would take considerable work to change the interface, and due to the highly customized nature of it, the design varies from panel to panel, and so it may be unfamiliar to support staff, especially if your system is being supported by IT, because they're used to dealing with computers, and these require some more customized and specific electronic expertise. Lastly, it does not provide any added features. There's no logging of user inputs. There's no ability to do additional functionality like have a digital log of the events in the system. So it's limited in those respects. The next type of control or user interface is the touchscreen control station, or in many cases the customer may choose not to use a touchscreen at all, but rather to use a mouse-driven control station. But in either case, it's a computer-based control station. The advantages of this are exactly the opposite of the hard graphics panel, in that with a touchscreen control station, you have significant flexibility. If you decide you want to move a button on the screen or change a label, it's as simple as using the MTI application software to change that. It also provides considerable added features like right-click to protect and hold open and activate breaches and log events and those sorts of things. And it's familiar to support staff, especially those who are computer savvy, such as an IT staff that might go on to support these systems. The disadvantages of the system, if it is a touchscreen control station, are that computers require upgrading. Every 3 to 5 years, you're going to need to plan to upgrade your computers in this system. There is wear and tear to that. There are upgrades that need to happen. Operators must be somewhat computer literate. If they're familiar with Windows, then this shouldn't be a big hurdle, but sometimes it can be. The last type of user interface are wireless devices. More specifically, tablets have become the common wireless device that we use with an MTI control system. And the advantages of this are extremely increased mobility, especially in a direct supervision scenario, or in a situation where you have a tower that might overlook several dorms and you want the operator in that tower to have mobility between views, or looking out a particular window or this particular window. He can move around with that tablet. Additionally, there are extended features that are available to a wireless device that aren't available to a control station, such as watch tour and inmate tracking and count verification, where you can use barcode scanning to accomplish these features. Disadvantages to these systems are the limited screen size. Most of the time we use a 7-inch screen, which can limit the amount of devices that are available on a screen, and it requires diligence in charging and overall care of the device. And so it's important to remember that for your operators. And it requires added wireless infrastructure to accomplish the flexibility that's provided. There are some common installation considerations for all three interface types. All three interface types require consistent power source. We require and recommend that you use an adequately sourced UPS that has enough current to provide the uptime that you need if power were to be lost. We recommend online UPSs, which provide a consistent power source and don't switch between battery and AC power. And we also recommend surge protection to protect these devices. Ensure that you have adequate ventilation. A computer, one of the worst enemies of a computer is heat. It slows the processor down and ultimately will cause damage to the internal components. Networking is the other major consideration. Ensure that all devices have a viable Ethernet connection that has been certified as per our overview video. Computer devices have some additional considerations. MTI provides preloaded devices that have been imaged with the latest Windows operating system, licensed for our products, and so though we do not typically sell these control stations or sell our software to go on user-provided control stations, because we want to ensure the highest quality standards when we provide these control stations. After all, they are controlling a security system within a detention facility. These devices do require MTI's Provision software, which it can be licensed per computer and can operate the jail or prison as you design it. This video has provided an overview of the user interfaces for the MTI control system.